Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Jimsville with some more City Skylines on the PS4. And you'll see we have a little fleet of buses heading down to our new districts. I created a third line after you guys had gone away. So we have two that kind of service the one district and one purple line that services the other district. All sort of from the bus terminal. So these have left the depot all the way out in Chellington area and are making their way down this long road, ready to start picking up their customers. So we're going to kind of just track with these guys a little bit. Let's speed time up a bit, get them there a little bit quicker. So these should all start now siphoning off and going to the various different bus stops. So we'll slow time down a bit, and then there we go. So we're at double speed now as opposed to triple. I'm going to follow this purple bus. There we go, click on follow. Let's just watch this guy going around on his route. So this is the second route that I created, the alternate route I created after you guys had left. This is the third route that services this particular district on its own. So where's he going to start? Where's he going to pick up from? Here we go. So here's his first stop. So he's picking up from here. Got a load of people jumping on. So what I tried to do was cover routes through this as best I can. You can see two of the buses, you know, in proximity to each other there as they're picking up passengers. Let's try and get a little bit of height to avoid, you know, camera collisions with those buildings there. Big queue of people waiting outside these offices. Some people are jumping on, others are waiting for a different bus by the look of it. Comes out of the one-way street back onto our main road over here, and this is where it's going to cross over the traffic. And we've got to stop just here. We're going to whiz along our bus lane. Another stop just here. Onto our roundabout, and now we should be heading back towards the bus centre. So we've got to stop a few stops along this main road, which are purely for these sort of purple buses. See a train whizzing through in the background there. This is quite a busy junction. We may possibly need to put a roundabout in there. Really is quite a bad junction. Or maybe we need to put some kind of slip road system in. Just something to get the traffic flowing a little bit better. So we're back onto our bus lane there, into another stop. Another bus pulling in behind us on the same route there, look, you see. Now we're starting to get towards our little city centre area over here. Changing lanes so we can get into the right position to go around this roundabout. Now we're getting ready to pull into the bus depot, the bus station. See one actually just leaving the station there. Let's get a little bit more height now. See, we've got to stop here. We're going to pick up a few and drop a few people off. we swing around and pull into the bus station itself. But you can see that those bus lanes are now really quite important, because we have a lot of bus traffic. So by keeping those lanes free, it allows our commuter services to actually run quite efficiently. It means any kind of traffic snafus shouldn't, in theory, affect our buses, although say that junction where everything feeds down is a little bit bad and does need to be perhaps looked at a little bit further. So you can see we have a couple of stops in here just to pick up people in the commercial area and drop people off. Onto the roundabout, and you can see we've got the two different lines there, both running the same road. And you'll see one of them will peel off and the other one won't. Ooh, we've got some kind of weird collision up there, look. Looks like they're all trying to change lane into that middle lane so that they can make a turn. Yeah, that's what was causing the issue there. So a weird little graphical glitch. You've got three of those buses running nose to tail there. But again, you can see the importance of these bus lanes here. Just meaning they're not getting caught up with any traffic issues whatsoever. Again, we're getting a lot of pink buses. I think until these buses kind of settle down, we're going to get quite a few buses just running in sequence like this, as they try and you know, spread the load of commuters. And then we're into an area that we've already seen where we sort of peel off and go around here. So let's break away from that one there. Let's just have a look at our traffic overlay, because I get the feeling it's going to look very bad at this junction. Yes, it is pretty bad look. That is not nice to see. So we may have to do something with that junction there. I think it would probably be better if we had less, well, I don't know, I think a 3-lane is actually quite a good idea, in the sense that we've got, maybe 2-lane would be better rather than 3 lanes. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll have to think about that one. I'm still wondering whether or not maybe a roundabout might be a good idea, putting a roundabout in just there, so that we've got a nice flowing route, but we're so close to the railway line that I don't know whether a roundabout would actually fit. That's the issue. Not unless we actually brought this road over the railway line and then put a roundabout in here and then brought that back out that way. That might be the only way of doing it. So we'll definitely have to have a think about that. But yeah, you can see that you know, we're still short on residential over here. You know, we have commercial and we have industry, you know, requirements. But we're still not getting enough people in over here. Let's see how things are looking over here. Is all looking quite a little bit different to the last time I was over here. Oh, looks like someone's picked up the body. Should be a hearse. There it is. See them carrying a coffin to the back of the hearse there. There's one thing else I want to look for as well, something we haven't seen in action yet, and that's taxis. So let's see if we can find a taxi. We've got our taxi stands alongside the stations. See if we can get some people waiting for taxis. It might be difficult to do that with buses, so we might not actually see that many taxis around. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can... where is our taxi rank? It's over here, isn't it? I wish I knew what the actual taxis look like. Taxis are in use, 25 of them, so just have to try and find one now, I suppose. Let's check out this station over here. Loads of people using those buses, look. No sign of people waiting at that taxi rank. Oh, there's a taxi. Pause. There we go, we've got a taxi cab. So, we're going to follow this guy. Just because I haven't seen these taxis yet. It's the first time I've ever seen them. Damn it, we lost him. There we go. Of course, these can use the bus lanes as well, so they can help, you know, avoid some of those larger traffic snafus. So let's see where this guy's going. Oh, he's turning. There goes another taxi whizzing past him. Now, all of a sudden, I'm seeing taxis everywhere. Now I know what they look like. Where's this guy off to? There we go. Pulling in outside someone's home. He's now going to get himself back on the main road. Which way is he going to go? Oh, we moved off him, so we're not following him anymore. There we go. I wonder if he's off to one of the stations. No, I don't think he is. So cool. Those trains just go whizzing through the level crossings like that. I'm so glad we built level crossings. Oh, so there's his pickup. Looks like this guy's just turning around. Is this our taxi getting pulled over? Well, this is bizarre. It's just, maybe it's just complete coincidence that they happen to go the same way. And wait until we get to a junction and see if they split. He's following him the whole way. Is he going to ticket our taxi driver? He's going on. He's still following him. And the emergency services will use the bus lanes as well. He's following him. Look, he's taking him all the way back. He must be going to nick somebody. He's either trying to nick the guy who's in the taxi or he's going to nick the taxi driver. This is bizarre. Let's speed it up. I want to stick with this because I want to see what happens. I want to see who gets arrested. Because if he wanted to, he could just overtake that taxi and just bomb straight past it. Police cars in this are ridiculously... Oh! He's changed lanes. Now he's dropped behind another taxi. This has to be a coincidence then. still sticking with him. We've already dropped our passenger off. Oh, there we go. He's breaking off. Yeah, so it was just a coincidence. I thought that was a little bit too good to be true. That we might actually see a taxi driver getting busted. We are getting a real build-up of dead people in Chellington. Let's add in some crematoriums up here. I think that's something we're going to need to do. Do I really want to be morbid and stick a crematorium next to a station? Well, I might have to. Let's stick a couple next to the incinerators. Might as well. What are we looking like up here? Yeah, we could do with something up here as well. So, where can we put an incinerator up here? We've got some space there. That'll do. How is our industry over here? It's actually looking pretty big, but we still have desire for more industry and more commercial. So let's block in some more industry over here. Like that. And I suppose we could do some more commercial here. And we'll put some more commercial here as well, I suppose. Try and get those desires down a little bit. You see, all that money we spent, we're starting to claim some of that back quite nicely now. Still getting nice service down here with our rail freight and our commuter lines over here. And this commuter line over here. I think it might be worth connecting that station up down here. Let's do that. Let's where is rail? There we go. Let's draw a rail line all the way down here. So I'm just going to run it nice and straight. Great if I can actually see where I'm building to. There's the railway line. Okay, so let's build down to about there, and now we'll go freeform and connect it like that, and go the opposite direction this way, and connect it like that. There we go. So now we might get lines going from here all the way up to Chellington, and likewise a line coming from Chellington all the way down. I'll have to keep an eye on the next train that pulls through Chellington, see if it goes out the other end. Right, we still need more commercial. So we've got commercial over here as well. Let's zone that in. And we'll zone that as high density, I think. Oh, we've got a freight line, a freight train using the line there, just whizzing through. Yeah, there we go. Look, there's a train whizzing through. Is this going to stop in Chellington? Well, here is a train stopping in Chellington. Let's see where this train goes. Is it actually going to connect up to one of our other cities? That would be pretty kind of cool. It would be the first time I've ever seen that happen. So obviously those two at the bottom don't link up with each other, but will they link up with Chellington? It's going the right way. Come on, turn in here. Turn in here. Ah, so close. So yeah, for whatever reason, our cities just do not seem to want to link up with each other with rail. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, we can put metro in at some point in the future, but I'd rather kind of leave that for the centre over there. But it's great to see that the rail network over here is getting a bit more activity as well, so that's good. Our little zone over here is doing quite nicely. Can we put something in the centre of this roundabout? Like a monument or a statue or something. It's transport to... Oh wow, look at the size of that thing. Yeah, that's big. Fantastic fountain is way too big. Has to be something small. What about this plaza? No. Statue of Wealth? No. Fountain of Life and Death? No, that's not going to fit either. Is there anything that we can put in there? What about decorations? I don't really want to put a plaza in there with trees because no one will be able to get to it. Let's have a look at just putting some trees in there, I suppose. Adding a bit of colour in there. So we've got large bushes. Randomly tapping the buttons to try and get this area nicely sort of bushed. Get some good coverage. Bushes around the edge of it like that. Looks alright. Let's put some trees in the middle of that. Just dot a few trees in there like so. Let's change to a different tree with leaves. And a different tree with leaves. Have a nice nature inspired roundabout. Yeah, that looks alright. It'll do. Just brightens that area up a little bit. What are we doing over here? This is actually really starting to develop quite nicely now. I don't think there's a lot of zoning space unclaimed yet. I mean, there's a little bit here and there, but for the most part, we've actually filled most of the residential. It's a little bit patchy over here, and it's a little bit patchy over there. Perhaps do with putting a little bit more commercial in over here. So let's swap some of these zones out a little bit. Let's take that one out and that one out, and that one out, and that one out, and that one out. What the hell, those as well. And let's start putting in some commercial in these places. Like so. Where else can we put in a bit more commercial? Perhaps do with a bit more office as well. We don't have a lot over here, although they are calling out for workers. Let's put a little bit of extra commercial in just over here. Have a little block of shops in this residential area over here. And this is what I'm probably going to do, is just take little patches out like this. Just put a few blocks of shops in the middle of residential areas. We could do the same over here. We could take that out, seeing as no one's using it, and make that residential, commercial. Any other little patches that we could add in? It's not too bad, actually. Did we put crematoriums more than one in down here, or we just put the one in? I honestly can't remember. Let's have a look. Oh, we got two. We are starting to have some garbage issues over here, though, by the look of it. So we could probably do with an incinerator somewhere. This is going to cause some pollution issues. Where do I want? Yeah, see, that circle there, that shows just how big an impact that pollution radius is going to be. It's going to be big no matter where I put it. Don't really want to have to put something along there. So instead, what I'll do is I'll create a side road coming off. Like that. And we'll put our incinerator in just there. So that the pollution stays out of our built-up area. We are going to have to add some water to it, though. So let's take this pipe. Actually, no, we'll just build across. Yeah, no, we'll drag this one up. There we go. Of course, being an incinerator, it generates its own power, so we don't have to worry about power issues in that respect. And that'll get some extra garbage trucks moving into this area. People are complaining about noise. Again, there isn't really a lot I can do about that. They're stuck on the back of a railway line, so it's going to be noisy. There's our crematorium. That might be throwing out some noise as well. Same again, you know, he's in the middle of a busy city area, so it's going to be noisy. Nothing I can do about that. But this whole area now is really sprung to life, as you can see. Really quite pleased with how this has turned out so far. And obviously we've got our bus terminal is doing a wonderful job as well. You know, funneling passengers all over the place. So let's take another look back up here. A little bit of waste maybe building up inside this district. Oh, we're getting some water shortages, which are causing businesses to get abandoned. Are we not pumping enough water? No, we're not. So we need another pump. Let's put 2 in, seeing as we have the money. Oops. Try and remove that piece of piping. Easiest thing to do, I think, is just going to be to move this out of the way. Pipe from that. Okay, now I can move this back to where it's supposed to be. Connect up the piping. There we go. And now our water is bang on again. Our sewage treatment already is starting to run a little bit short. Let's check to see how much of a visual difference now that we have the water treatment plants in. Look how much cleaner that water is. Let's pull up the info view and check on pollution. So look at that. We have this huge, horrible, massive dark red smear. Now it's almost gone completely. Look. You know, it's so much cleaner than it was. This is obviously the colour of the normal water. This really sort of really pale pink colour. And then over here, that was just deep burgundy, the same colour as that. And now look at it. It's almost completely gone. So much nicer. Got pollution obviously going to come out of that there. We've got massive pollution coming out of that area there. Still got these pollution problems. Hopefully these water problems should start going away now. I'm a little concerned that they are still... maybe are they outside of water zoning? Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, they are. Damn it. That was just clumsy. But, you know, in a sense, it kind of worked out because we needed to put in extra water, you know, pumps anyway, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. This logging industry area is huge now. Look at it. All these tree plants everywhere. Really is looking a much more sort of eco-friendly logging area. And now we're getting great demand for our residential look. It's starting to go back up again. So that should fill in the last pieces over here. In fact, we might even be able to add in some extra roads and create a little bit of extra. We can certainly start to get rid of some of these power cables now, which will help as well, because they were taking up a little bit of zoning. So let's put a little side road in there. And add in some more zoning over here. These people are going to complain about noise, but you know, what do you expect when you live next to a railway line? Right, well, oh, crime. Crime is an issue. Let's have a look, actually, at our crime overlay. So, let's go to info and views. Where is crime? Yeah, so we don't really have very good coverage over here. It's right on the edge. We do have some coverage, but it's, you know, obviously takes a while to get services out there, which is why it's kind of going to dark green and grey. And we do need to put a prison in as well. So before we disappear, because we're almost out of time, let's quickly stick in a prison. Can we drop it in just there? No, not quite. I don't need this set of roads here, so let's just take those out. Technically, I don't even need these roads here either, so let's take those out as well. And now, can I find space for the prison? Not quite. Let's take that road out, and that road out, and we'll extend them ever so slightly. To there. And now I should be able to fit a prison in that gap. Yes, I can. Beautiful. So, we'll drop the prison in there. It's beautiful. We've got power and water. And now we have a prison. That'll help, I think, with some of our criminal, our crime rating as well. So, is that one-way street? No, it's not. Let's make that one-way street. So, upgrade. It's going the wrong way at the moment. Change that in a second. There we go. So now we've got a one-way system around our prison. Fantastic. So we're pretty much out of time again. We haven't done a huge amount this episode, but we have put a prison in. We've overseen some improvements. Oh, and we've just unlocked a solar panel plant as well. We've hit 20,000 population. So finishing on a high note there. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, finishing on a bit of a high note there. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob. In the next episode, we will be naming our districts. I've decided to do it next episode, so please do make this your last opportunity to come up with a name suggestion or vote on existing suggestions in the comments. I will be naming the districts in the very next episode. So thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I will catch you back in Jimsville for some more City Skylines PS4 edition very soon.